Mhm. So we are talking about some version of Nyay or a direct cash transfer to the poorest people.
Absolutely, a direct cash transfer. Whether it's to the poorest people, that's more debatable. I would argue for a broader, because I think targeting is extremely costly.
Yeah.
You try to target in this mess. You try to target and figure out who's become poor after their shop was shut for 6 weeks. I don't know whether how we figure this out. I wouldn't try to figure it out. I would say, bottom 60% of the population, we give them some money. Nothing bad will happen, in my view. That if we gave them some money, well, some of them will not need it, but fine, they'll spend it. And if they spend it, that will have stimulus effect. So the only place where maybe I'm more aggressive than you are in that sentence is that I think I would go beyond the poorest people.
So you're talking for a massive priming of the pump upfront. So you start up the demand as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm absolutely saying that. I've been saying that for a while, actually. Even before this happened, I've been saying that we have a demand problem. Now we have going to have a bigger demand problem because it's the usual thing. I have no money. I'm not buying anything because my shop is closed, but then your shop is closed because I'm not buying anything from you. So I think.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And I think implicit in what you're saying is that you need to do it faster rather than slower. So the faster you do it, the more effective it's going to be.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be.
Every second lost is actually damaging.
You're right in saying I want it fast. I don't want to have us checking everybody's locus standi and whether they're appropriate for this or not. I do think that it may be we shouldn't induce a mismatch of supply and demand by giving people spending power where we have shut down the entire retail sector because they are in the red zone or something. So we need to plan that a bit better than, so that there's you get the money when you can go out and buy, not now. Or you get a promise. You get a promise that you will get the money, so you stop panicking, you stop completely, starving yourself because you want to have a little bit of savings left. So if people were reassured that, in 2 months or whenever the lockdown will be lifted, they're going to have some money in their hands, I think they would be much less worried about it, and they'll be more willing to spend already. And some of them have some savings; they'll spend it. So I feel that we shouldn't necessarily rush into it because there may be places where there's no production right now, there's no supply right now. So putting money in will just burn the money. There'll be inflation. We want to wait for that. But with that caveat, yes, soon.
And so the next point is that the sooner you're able to come out of a total lockdown, the better it is. And then you need a strategy for that begins to sort of start up parts of the economy quickly. Otherwise, you've got the money is useless there.
Correct. So I think sooner you come out of a lockdown, of course, depends very much on the disease. You don't want to take off the lockdown just when a lot of people are getting sick. So it's absolutely, that's absolutely right. We have to kind of be aware of the time path of the disease in taking that decision.
The other thing that is slightly different in India is that the food issue and the scale of the food issue.
Yeah.
So we have large numbers of people who don't have ration cards. There's an argument being made, just hand out what is in the godams because it's going to get more and more full as the harvests come in. So just move aggressively on that. What do you think of that?
We in fact wrote an op-ed with Raghu, Rajan and Amartya Sen saying literally that, which is hand out temporary ration cards to anybody who wants one. In fact, put all other ration cards in abeyance. Just put temporary, anybody wants one, can get a temporary ration card, lasts for 3 months for now, and maybe renewed for another 3 months if necessary, and honor that. So give everybody a ration card. Anybody walks in, give them one, and use that as the basis for making transfers. I think we have enough stocks. We can keep going for a while. The Rabi crop has been good this time, so we're going to have tons of wheat and rice. So at least wheat and rice we can keep giving out. I don't know whether we have enough dal or not, but I think that the government promised dal as well, and so hopefully we have enough dal and oil and cooking oil. But yes, absolutely we can definitely do that and should really do that. Give out temporary ration cards to everybody.
And what else would you think should be on the sort of the package that the government is thinking about? I mean, we've spoken about small and medium, we've spoken about migrant labor, about the food issue. Any other things that you feel should be on that?
I think the last piece of this is just, I think, for the people who, to get cash to people, we really need some machinery. We can't really get cash to people. And people who have the Jan Dhan accounts, they can get the money, but many people don't. And especially, migrants may not have the access to that, etc. So I think we want to also think about what happens to the substantial part of the population that doesn't have access to these things. And probably the right answer is that we should give a bunch of money available to the state governments to try out their own schemes, to be creative in reaching people who are excluded and using NGOs. I think that we have to be willing to take some amount of, mistargeting, malfeasance. Some money will be stolen, but I think if we sit on our hands and say that we don't want to do anything that's going to possibly go wrong, then I think we'll make sure it goes wrong.